Now, look, this is something that I have studied ruthlessly. And the common thread is that people with the highest libido on the testosterone and TRT subreddits, most of them are running 200 milligrams a week. These guys have bucked all the trends. They've bucked the everyday injections. They've bucked the sub-Q injection. They've bucked the stable hormone trend. And they just pin a milliliter of 200 milligram per milliliter testosterone cypionate, which is 200 milligrams. Let their body peak and trough, balance out, and their libido is crazy high. The question really is for these individuals, how can they tolerate those higher doses of testosterone? And secondly, why is their libido so high? High libido is hurting marriage. Been on a milliliter of TRT and have felt great for the past 6 months. So this is a mil of test cypionate, presumably. It's 200 milligrams per milliliter, so it's a 200 milligram shot. This is a 6 whole months. Right? There was no honeymoon period. Again, the honeymoon period is reproducible if you know the conditions that the honeymoon period was. It's just streamline, super high libido to the point where it's hurting this guy's marriage. OP's own admission, feel like $1 million. I'm on month 6, no negative side effects other than wanting to, you know what, 24/7. I mean, that's the libido that everybody on TRT is looking for. So let's break down why this is happening and if you can inject 200 milligrams and get insatiable libido on TRT. All right, look, before we start the video, Cortex Labs, which is my company, is a TRT guidance and sexual dysfunction resolution company that does coaching, consulting, and has a bunch of great digital products. Right now, everything digital. That's Mastering Libido and Erections on TRT, Sourceless, Mastering Testosterone Cream for libido and erections, Mastering Testosterone Cypionate for libido and erections. These are all 40% off right now. The code is on the screen. You punch it in at checkout. You save a lot of money on digital products. Okay, if you want to skip all the nonsense and get the best, most well-rounded product for every ester on TRT, just get Mastering Libido and Erections on TRT. This is a sexual function digital playbook that shows you how to dial in on every ester for sexual function. Instant download. It is yours immediately. 40% off. Codes in the description. Go get it done. Lastly, I'm a coach on TRT. The coaching packages as it stands are fully booked, but if you need special consideration, you can email me to get on board. But consulting, single session sexual dysfunction resolution consulting is available, and you can book me in under a minute at livecortex.com or down the description of this video. So let's just analyze a lot of these threads. Here's another one. Insatiable libido on test. Any advice or help appreciated? Like, this is a problem that a lot of people would pay money to have. And to this guy, it's like the grass is always greener, bro. You want your libido high, brothers. Currently on 200 milligrams testosterone a week, and my libido's through the roof. To the point it's extremely distracting and it's take away from my life. I feel like a barbarian, an animal. Yes, that's primal libido, okay? If you can tailor your protocol for your body, you're going to have primal libido. That's what we should all have. No such thing as the TRT honeymoon phase. There is such thing as a phase in which the conditions were right to give you libido, and you can always replicate that down the line. He goes, everything else on this dosage is great, but it's supposed to make a problem now. I'm literally insatiable. For example, last weekend I met this girl at the bar. We hit it off, and next thing you know, we're banging in the alleyway. Apparently, at some point, I literally growled at her. Didn't even realize it. And after I left, I went home and went to jack off and call another girl over. Any advice to lower libido? My God, brother. Yeah, look at one of the most prominent comments here. I'm not sure I understand the problem, because there really is no problem with that. That's how a male behaves. Next one, over 5 years. Again, this whole honeymoon period nonsense on 200 milligrams a week. No AI, no side effects, all benefits. Now, this guy does sub-Q and splits it up. So he's doing 100 milligrams on a Monday and then 100 milligrams on Thursday evening. Here's another one, 200 milligrams a week. Wow, I posted a few weeks ago about this dosage being on the high, and my doctor did green light the dose. Awesome. I was on 150 before, but 50 milligrams more has made a ton of difference in recovery time and strength. About 4 weeks in, I've added 50 pounds to my bench press. I've gained muscle and feel more aggressive. Is this placebo? Another one, libido is almost too strong. If you scroll down, you find the guy is on 2x week injections, 200 milligrams a week. So to break down what exactly is happening in these situations and how you could attempt to replicate this, you have to look at the conditions of a lot of these protocols. Most of these protocols have either little to no HCG. So they're not aromatizing to like 75, 100 picograms per milliliter of estradiol. They are probably peaking at somewhere around 1,500 to 1,700 to maybe even 2,000 nanograms per deciliter total test. They're troughing, if they're injecting once a week, down to probably about 800, 900, maybe 1,000. But because they don't have like a constant exposure to androgens, the testicular side of things, I don't want to call it intact, but they're not getting massive atrophy. Again, without a trough, you're going to be shutting down the testicles more. I think that the scientific literature proves this, right? The fast-acting esters, particularly testosterone propionate, allows for less gonadotropin support, if any. So that's one reason, okay? A lot of them don't have HCG in their protocols. The second reason, as I've described time and time again, some people just have an androgenic threshold that they need to cross in order for both libido and erections to be intact. But here's the trick. That androgen threshold can't be consistently crossed. It's got to go up past that threshold, and then your levels have to drop back down. Which brings me to the third reason this is happening. Peaks and troughs. Peaks and troughs. Listen, I'm going to hammer this home for as long as I have vocal cords. A lot of guys on TRT do much better with oscillations in their hormone levels, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3.5, you're peaking, right? You're peaking on test, you're peaking on DHT, and then you're peaking on estradiol. But then you're not steadily exposed to it constantly. You start troughing, the SHBG recovers, your body learns what to do with a bolus of cypionate. For some people, peaks and troughs are actually the only way that they can fall in the proper hormone ratio for them to have sexual function. And then lastly, I think it has to do with the oil depot pharmacology. As I've broken down, if you've got on like a daily sub-Q protocol, these tiny little micro droplets of testosterone, we'll think about how much test your body then ultimately gets at once. I don't really care if your numbers say you're at 1,000 total tests, right? There's a different effect between little micro droplets and large oil depots, which then surge the androgen, surge the DHT, surge the estrogen too, but it doesn't stay elevated. This is the kind of thing that at the gene expression level provides more of a continuous effect. This is what I've seen over the years. The limbic system of the brain requires androgen receptor activation specifically for the male libido to fire off. So some people just need more of a bolus of testosterone at once to activate the brain, the dopamine, the limbic system side of libido. At the same time, it is aromatization into estradiol in the brain that contributes to libido as well. So it just ends up working out for these people, that one big bolus, enough estradiol, but not steady, continuous exposure to rising levels, creates the condition in the brain and in the sex organs via local DHT for erections in that case, and of course, libido in the former. Now, I'm not a huge proponent of no HCG TRT protocol, so if you'd like to try to replicate this, okay, go ahead and pin the 200. Wait 7 days, don't do anything in between, and ultimately see how you fare. You probably give that 4 or 5 weeks to see if it's, once it stabilizes, how things are going. If you don't need the HCG because you've got enough gap in between injections and the testicles can actually recover and not completely atrophy, you're golden. Your estrogen is going to be lower just as a result of that, which is generally good. But if you'd like to try to replicate this, it would be more along the lines of something like 140, 150 every 5 to 7 days, with a minimum effective dose of HCG, call it like 250 IU twice a week, or if you want to do it daily, like 62.5 to 100 IU daily. The bottom line is this. Everybody's searching, especially the people that are just not having a good time in terms of sexual function on TRT, for like the libido secret, and there are many of them. I mean, you can achieve it at 120 milligrams a week. You can achieve it at 150 a week. You can achieve it at 50 milligrams every other day with the right dose of HCG. It's all about manipulation of your hormone ratios to get your body where it prefers to have libido. And not that I'm saying that there are people on 200 that don't have any problems, because some of them, their libido tanks. Some of them, their erections tank. I mean, they're just not meant for boluses of testosterone, and once they got to manipulate the protocol otherwise. But if you go search the forums, and I've seen this in coaching to have had to put people on these kinds of protocols, a lot of the guys with the crazy libido and the great sexual function are just dosing 200 milligrams a test. Just something to think about. All right, boys, as I said in the beginning, biggest discount on digital products aimed at all dialing you in on TRT. It's 40% off. The code is 40 now. It's on the screen. In the description of this video, you can literally download any of the digital products right now for a significant discount. That's Mastering Libido and Erections on TRT, the Sexual Function Playbook. 40% off down below. Source list, vetted list of anything you can think of. 40% off down in the description. All right, Mastering Testosterone Cream for Libido and Erections, 40% off down in the description of this video. Mastering Testosterone Cypionate for Libido and Erections, every protocol imaginable, including the Bolus ejection protocols, 40% off. All right, down in the description of this video. Lastly, if you need to hire me for coaching on fixing sexual function, you can do that in literally a minute at livecortex.com, and you and me are on the fact-finding call as soon as the next day, and we get started. If you've got libido, erection, sensation, climax, otherwise issues on TRT, we'll get to the bottom of it. This is all I do. Single session call with protocol generation, 3 to 5 different action routes, TRT protocol audits. And if you need to get on board coaching, it's not actually live on the website because we just booked 30 people in April. You can email me at ryan@livecortex.com for some special consideration. I could probably get you in. I just can't leave it on the website because we'd be overbooked if I did. All right, get all this stuff at livecortex.com or down in the description of this video. All right, my brother in Tess. Happy, what is it, Wednesday? Thursday. Hope you've had a great week and a great holiday so far. Do me a favor, if anything I said resonated with you, just hit the like button. Makes a difference, means a lot to me. Hit the like button, bro. Otherwise, sub to the channel. Yeah, I mean, this is all we talk about, and this is all we're ever going to talk about, and there's so much information on this channel. I think you're really going to get a lot of value from it. Sub, I'd love to have you on board, bro. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you with one video on this idea of bolus dosing testosterone and why for some people it works, that ties this together. It's almost like the prequel to this video that you got to watch. You've got to watch it. It's right here. Go click on it. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, brother. Rock on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.